When you look at what problems are facing the world today, you're left with just a deep sense of impending doom and even despair. Just even recently, suicide rates have just skyrocketed. They're off the charts. Men's hearts failing them for fear, especially the fear of the future and what the future holds. Well, for believers, we know what the future holds, and we also know who holds the future. We know how it ends. Yes, it's going to get bad, but then it's going to get way better, more way better, because all of these things point to and are a declaration of what Jesus said would take place in the last days prior to his return for his church. These problems that are facing the world today are prophetic, every single one of them. There's nothing that is taking place in the world today that was not foretold would take place in the world today, as we have recorded in the pages of Holy Writ. The Bible tells us that this is how it's going to be right before the rapture. Now, I need for you to hear what I'm about to say, because many are afraid of, especially the year 2012. Oh, apparently I struck a chord there. Can I just assure you and encourage you that the world will not end on December 21st, 2012. Okay? But, there is a but. The rapture of the church could take place before December 21st, 2012. We just don't know the day or the hour, but we can know that it is near. Now, many are hedging against and even stockpiling because of what could be coming down the pike. Some are buying land on the Big Island. Now, if the Lord is telling you to do that, far be it from me to say don't do that. I mean, the Lord may use you and maybe use your surplus and your provisions. I don't know that you're going to be here for those provisions. But maybe somebody else will have the benefit of those provisions that is left behind, and who knows that they might not find salvation in Jesus Christ during the 7-year tribulation after the church has been removed. Now, here's what I want to encourage you with. When I read my Bible, I don't find that just before the rapture, the world is in unspeakable peril like we have played out on the silver screen in Hollywood in the movie 2012. What did Jesus say to the disciples? He said they will be married and given in marriage. They will be buying and selling and building and planting, and things will go on as they always have. And then the rapture will come as a thief in the night at an hour that nobody expects it. And it will catch people off guard. See, as in the days of Noah, so too will it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. Now understand that there's a different environment. And I'm not talking about the global warming environment. I'm talking about a geopolitical environment, an economic environment. See, before the rapture, there's a time of prosperity. Even the first 3.5 years of the 7-year tribulation, there's a time of prosperity. In fact, the first 3.5 years of the tribulation are going to be marked by peace and security. But then sudden destruction comes, and it comes upon them like a woman in labor. But now you contrast what the world's going to look like right before the rapture with what the world's going to look like right before the second coming, and it's virtually the antithesis, the polar opposite. I mean, unless those days were shortened, no flesh would survive. Just the nuclear fallout that will take place, and a third of the population, and mountains will go into the sea. I mean, it is going to be apocalyptic in every sense of the word. But here's the point. Right before the rapture, it'll be like it was in Noah's day. Same thing in Lot's day. Hey, understand that when we're talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, do you know that Sodom and Gomorrah was very prosperous? It was so prosperous, that's why Lot chose it. And his, uncle, Abraham, gave him first choice. We're getting too much, and, our herdsmen are fighting with each other, and our crops are too many, so you need to go one way, and I'll go the other way. So Abraham gave his nephew Lot first choice, and what did Lot do? He looked over the horizon, and he saw the prosperity of Sodom and Gomorrah. And do you know that that is the sin of Sodom and Gomorrah? We think about Sodom and Gomorrah in their sexual immorality, but do you know that they were, according to the prophet Ezekiel, they were so prosperous and they had all this free time and they had no concern for the poor. They had become very rich. And so right before it was destroyed, they were living in peace and security. Now, you take even in Noah's day, right up until the point that they entered the ark, they were marrying, given in marriage. They were very prosperous. By the way, a little side note, did you know that the estimated population of planet Earth in the days of Noah, by some accounts, according to Bible scholars, was approximately 6 billion with a B people? Guess what? That's the population of planet Earth today. We're just over the cusp of 6 billion people with a B. Interesting. Some have really made a fascinating study comparing the days of Noah to our day today. And it is a very powerful and even provocative study. Because even Hale-Bopp comet, you remember Hale-Bopp comet that came really close to Earth back in the 90s? Back in the 90s, sounds so long ago. By the way, did you know that this year's almost over? I mean, it's almost 2010. What happened? We blinked, it's over. Goodbye, hello 2010. Anyway, enough of my problems. Listen, in the days of Noah, it's believed that the last time, and this is scientists, not Christian Bible scholars that are coming to this conclusion, but they tracked Hale-Bopp's orbit and they determined that the last time that it came that close to Earth was approximately 4,000+ years ago, which would place it precisely in the days of Noah. Some even take it a step further and suggest that it was the comet that actually collapsed the water canopy, initiating the flood, which is very provocative to me. I'm not dogmatic about that, but it surely is interesting. So in other words, as in the days of Noah, so too would it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. As in the days of Lot, so too will it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. Now, if you look at that and you know your Bible well enough, you'll understand that we are living in a day that resembles the days of Noah and the days of Lot. And everything will go on as, business as usual, right before the rapture of the church. Not the second coming. See, we know the day of the second coming because we're told 7 years. We're told the days. We're told in that 70th week, the time of Jacob's trouble or the time of Israel's trouble. But the church has to be removed prior to the 7-year tribulation. So you have two events, really. You really have a second and third coming, if you will. The second coming of Christ is really the rapture. The third coming of Christ is what we call the second coming, and that's where he comes at the end of the 7-year tribulation, and it sets up his kingdom. We know this as the kingdom age or the millennium. You can read about it in Revelation chapter 20, where for 1,000 years we will rule and reign with Jesus Christ there on the throne, seated with him as his bride for 1,000 years, and Satan is bound in the bottomless pit. And then at the end of the millennium is the new heavens and the new earth. That's when Satan is loosed. It's the final battle, not much of a battle. And that's when Lucifer, Satan, the great dragon, is cast into the lake of fire. And then it's the new heavens and the new earth forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. That's our future. That's your future if you're here today, born again of the Spirit of God. If you've never accepted Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, that's not your future. That's not your future. And I cannot give you a false hope that if you just simply raised your